Giving our praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yehoshai, Ba'ashem Charakah Quadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles that taught us this truth. Salutes to the sincere elect out there. Aria back at you with another lesson. We're in Jacob's trouble, the year of the agents, apostates, and sellouts. So, yes, Babylon is falling apart at the seams. Quite frankly, literally falling apart at the seams. We won't get into some of these clips because at the turn of the year, that's one of the first things I made an observation that these are churches that be collapsing. Right, we've got a couple of clips to look at, but the most I be getting the fabric of this place, and he's shredding it. So this is from the BBC News. Yeah, did dodgy Victorian workmanship lead to chapel collapse? We got these community workers because this was on the news, and I made a note of it, which adds to the collection of these churches coming to part. Either they be just crashing down, right? Most I be literally striking them with lightning, right? At the turn of the year, was one of the first things. Either he be striking them with lightning, or they be falling apart literally, right? And some of them be crashing down while people are in them, literally. So this is what they're saying, these community workers here, right? And they use this church for many other. Anyway, churches. I mean, we're gonna hit the scriptures anyway. So as far as Victorian engineering goes, a chapel still standing after more than 180 years is testament to that era's building excellence. And from the outset, the Cottage Green Chapel in Camberwell seems to embody that. Even if the paint is peeling and there were weeds in cracks in the brickwork, just around the corner from Burgess Park in Southwark, the chapel is used constantly for various community groups and projects, right? Just when they was explaining it on the news, you know that they use it for all kind of wickedness, right? Just to make that point, they use it for all kind of wickedness, right? Groups and a project to renovate it had been started by the owners, the Well Community Church, but before they got past the planning stage, part of the roof came crashing down. Right, so this is just is what you might call the Most High showing you that your churches or Babylon is falling, and churches are supposed to be a representation and a monument of safety for people to run to if necessary. But that ain't the case. That is not the case, right? When you check out a lot of these churches, what's happening to them? Let's check this one out here. Right? This is Mexico church. Roof collapse, killing 9 during Sunday mass. Ain't that supposed to be a sanctuary for people to run and hide for safety? Because if you hear what's happening over there in Mexico, they're grabbing up the cartel, deleting them, which is all cartels work for the government anyway. And you've got a whole heap of mass protesting taking place over there in Mexico right now. So rescues and military personnel search for dozens throughout to be trapped under the rubble. So a sanctuary, what's supposed to be a sanctuary, is now becoming a building where be crashing, people be getting deleted. Because the Most High is showing his displeasure with these churches, what they're being used for, which we don't know already. Let's hit the precepts. We don't know already. Acts chapter 17 and 24 says, Yahweh, or Yahweh, or you Christians call him God, that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temple made with hands. So he has nothing to do with your churches. And we know that, right? For those of us that were in once in the churches that have now woken up, we've now woken up to the wickedness that we used to see ourselves and that we're seeing now. That's why we're hearing about TD Jakes getting sick, right? And we, that nastiness he was talking about, and he's linked with P Diddy, just to make an example. But a couple of examples we got here. one of the first things I did make an observation at the turn of the year was, and I've done a video on this as well. Yeah.
This is the Vondelkerk, also known as the Vondel Church or officially the Church of the Most Sacred Heart of Jesus in Amsterdam, a neo-Gothic landmark located near Vondelpark. It is now almost gone after suffering catastrophic and irreparable damage in a fire on January 1st, 2026. Its construction started in 1872 and was completed in 1880. Over its 154-year history, the Vondelkerk survived a major fire in 1904 and 2 world wars, but it did not survive what many netizens call failed immigration and open border policies fueled by political correctness in the West. Once again, global netizens point to the usual suspects, but we cannot identify them lest we get censored by liberal and...
So let me hit another precept, right? Because everything is prophecy and everything is coming to pass. This is prophecy coming to pass. Psalms 127 from the top says, except the Lord build a house, right? Except the Lord build a house, thy labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman worketh but in vain. Most High wasn't for these places, these buildings, right, that are made with hands. And the Most High, as we looked at, doesn't dwell in these temples made with hands. Right, we've got a couple more for you. Yep. So there's another one in Montreal. This happened in 2026. We had the one in January, and then the next month in February, in the same year, the turn of the year 2026, we had another burned down church. So I'll read that again. Yeah. Except the Lord build the house, the labor in vain. And this is just what you call surgical strikes of the Most High. He be sending the angels out to make an example of these churches. That is, what's going on in them is pure wickedness, right? Low vibrational abominations, promiscuity, blatantly, and people know, and people don't know. And we was in these churches, so we know, and we could speak on it. Except the Lord build the house, thy labor be in vain. It's built in vain. That built it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman watcheth, but in vain. It is in vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrow. For sorrow he giveth his beloved sleep. For so he giveth his beloved sleep. So yeah, there's a song by Freddie McGregor. Don't eat the bread of wickedness, right? Don't drink the bread of wickedness is this kingdom or its philosophies, which represents abominations and all kinds of things that go against the laws, that go against the scriptures, right? Don't drink the wine of violence. That's the wine of the philosophy. Yeah, and there's a well-known rockers song. Freddie McGregor back in the goes back in 70s, mid 70s or early 70s. Freddie McGregor, or late 70s. Don't eat the bread of wickedness. Don't drink the blood of violence, which that goes back to the scriptures too. So, yeah, the Most I say he doesn't dwell in the temples made with hands. So I hit that one in Acts 17 to classify again, to qualify again. I'm going to read that in 7 as well. Acts 7 and 48 says, Herewith the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophets, right? So we pointing this out, right? We're making it clear, right? It's clear for you so that you can understand, right? Habakkuk chapters 2, right? Make it clear and simple so that everybody can understand, right? And you know, people still, the wicked still going to go to these churches, doesn't matter what, right? The 2/3 of our own people, right, following TD Jakes and will cref no dollar, right? They're going to go and they're going to die in them. They're going to live in them, they're going to die in them. They're going to run for them for sanctuary. Most are going to strike them with lightning, or either that, right? The lasers are going to come, right, via the missiles, the lasers through the chariots, or the missiles. But there's going to be no sanctuary for Babylon. Let me just say it like that. Because as we done know, WW3, the mini war has started. So there's going to be no sanctuary. People are going to run to the churches for cover, but there's going to be no place that is safe to hide in. Right? Most High done tell us already. Herewith the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophets. Heaven is my throne, the earth is my footstool. What house will ye build for me, saith the Lord, or what is the place of my rest? Yep, there is no place that you can run or hide to. The Most High hasn't blessed these places with protection. But there is a place where you can run, and there is a place where you can get sanctuary. Let me read that, and we're going to end off the video. Right? But it's only for the chosen, though. It's only for the elect. Proverbs chapters 1 and 20 says, Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. It's in the streets, but the streets right now, where you going to find the people on the streets now with the so-called funny-looking dresses on? So-called funny-looking dresses on your street corner. Look for them, seek them out, because they're the true prophets of the Lord. Right, the ones that be pushing this specifically, particularly the GMS, right, which we are taught by our elders and our apostles, the 100% truth, the proper breakdowns, right, and it's all about salvation. And we started off basically by learning the names, right, which is a salvation. The scriptures tell us that's where your protection is, right, salvation, right, which you Christians call the right name. You call him Jesus, which his name is Yahushua, which means he saves and he delivers. That's where you're going to get your protection from. Right? And Yahweh, he is. Yah means he, Yahweh means to be. Right? So that's where the salvation is. That's where your sanctuary is. Not in churches, as we done see what's happening to the churches now. As clear as day. So that's it, man. How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity? This is to you that are still going to the churches, right? The Christian people, them wearing them stupid hats. You got the Mormonism, you got the Jehovah's Witness, which they're Masons, right? Charles Taylor Russell was a Mason, right? He was a temple, what you call a pyramid measurer. Right, he was a low-level Mason, and when he died, he had that Mason pyramid, which represents Masonry, the pyramid temple, or the pyramid shape as his headstone. And also, you had Joseph Smith, which was an abomination too, a racist. Right, he was the head or the pioneer or the founder of the Mormonism, which he was a low-level Mason as well, Masonry. And he tried to turn it round, saying that the white people were the blessed people with white skin, and the black people were cursed with blackness. That's what they was trying to come with. Very similar with the Catholic Church, and they're all Masonics, right? And you had your main man. Albert Pike, he actually came out and said it. The God who in the book Morals and Dogma, yeah, Albert Pike came out and said it. The God in which we serve means the God we serve is Satan. He came out and said it in the book Morals and Dogma, right? And he's referring to Lucifer, which when you get into that word, it's just well, we are the true Lucifer, let me put it like that, or Yahushua, right? Yahushua, the true light bearers, in righteousness. But then you got low-level Luciferians, which they're making a reference to their God, which is devil or Satan. Satan means adversary, devil means deceiver. So that's your God, which the Most High is making an example of your God, and the places where you go to say you serve your God. He's making an example of them right now as we speak. But still, you're going to get people that are, let me read it again, Proverbs 1 and
22 says, how long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity, and the scorners delight in the scorning? Yep, scoffers, right? We're in that year. Scoffers, sellouts, and agents, and that's what you be doing. And apostates, scoffers, sellouts, and agents. That's what you love to do. Scarners, coming against his truth. But that's what we're reading. How long will you simple ones? How long will you simple ones? Will you love simplicity? Right, scoffing and taking the bag. Right, coming against his truth. It's in vain that they built these houses, these buildings. Unless the Most High be for it, it is in vain that you be living in them and building them and trying to run for them for sanctuary and safety and protection. It is in vain, which means a breath, which means empty. Right, when you get into that word vain, empty. Right, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. So that's why the place Babylon a burn. That's why Babylon is burning. Enough said on that. To Wadaya Bashim Yoshai, Kala Yehowa Bashem Yoshai Bashem Rakar
Quadash. Babylon is falling at the seams. Moses is making an example of this place. Right? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the safety of thy times. Right?
Only wisdom and knowledge shall be the protection. As a matter of fact, let me end with that one. That's Isaiah. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the protection of our times, Bible. Isaiah 33:6. We're going to end with that one. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength and salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Moses is making an example of these places because in them there is no wisdom, there is no knowledge, there is no salvation in these empty houses made with hands. The warrior Bashim Yoshai, Kala Yehowa Bashem Yoshai Bashem.
This is the Vondel Kirk, also known as the Vondel Church, or officially the Church of the Most Sacred Heart of Jesus, in Amsterdam, a neo-Gothic landmark located near Vondel Park. It is now almost gone after suffering catastrophic and irreparable damage in a fire on January 1st, 2026.
Right? One example there, so. So wisdom and knowledge shall be the protection and the stability of thy times, not in these churches or temple made with hands. To the next one, Babylon is falling apart at the seams, literally.